Hey guys, so today we're keeping it real. I'm actually at Children's Hospital with my sweet daughter, Sarah. Say hello. She's actually not feeling well, but she's being a good sport. And I said, you know what? I wanted to do a video about dealing with your kids while they're, sick in the hospital. And I know many of you have kids that have chronic illnesses and conditions where you have to go visit and stay at the hospital very often. So since she's mature, right, and is able to and able to answer some questions, I thought that I would kind of interview her, and I hope that you find it helpful to help your child when they are admitted into any hospital. So, Sarah, one of the things that I wanted you to talk about is, first of all, what is it like to be in the hospital and not know what's going on, basically? How does it feel?
It's kind of confusing, I always like to ask like the doctors and nurses about updates, because if I don't get updates then I feel really anxious, and I just feel out of the loop. And so, yeah.
So, and do you feel like the doctors are able to explain things to you to where you can understand them most of the time?
Yeah, I think for me, but I don't know for, like, years ago when we'd go to doctor's appointments when I was younger, I didn't really understand as much.
So one of the things that I feel like you're saying is that it's probably very important for parents to make sure that their kids understand what's happening, right?
Yeah. Because
otherwise it's very scary and, Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you was, what kind of advice would you give to parents about as far as handling social media and things like that? Because I know you have your thoughts about those types of things. Like, what kind of information do you think that parents should be kind of careful about sharing about their children?
Yeah, I get annoyed when you post a lot of stuff. I would say try to, like, ask your child what you think ask them what they're comfortable with posting, or with you posting. And I would say just post post updates that don't have too much information, and only really tell trusted people a lot of updated information.
Okay. So one of the things that I feel is important is that, your child eventually is going to become an adult or young adult like Sarah. And so you got to keep that in mind when you post things or talk about things, is that, one day they are going to be old enough to understand what you're talking about. They're going to see your posts and read them, and that could potentially affect them in ways you may not realize. So be cautious and aware of what you post and what pictures you post and the material that you post. So that was one of the things that I learned from Sarah. She's pretty good about letting me know what I can say and not, and sometimes I forget. I'm really bad about that. So publicly want to apologize. But anyway, one last thing, because I like to keep these videos short, but since you're feeling up to an interview, I wanted to take advantage of this. When you first, were diagnosed, and then eventually, were treated and have to come to the hospital for testing and all of that, what is something that you learned about yourself, having to go through all the different, things like testing and hospitalizations and things like that? What is one of the things that you have learned and that you want to share with everybody?
That it's kind of become a habit now, and it's not as big of a deal, but now that But now I feel like keeping up to date with meds and how I'm doing and my health is very important, especially right now. And so I think also that during with all this COVID, that
Yeah.
people are more aware of that too. But
So let's talk just briefly about COVID.
okay.
So from your perspective, what are your thoughts? Do you think that it's something that people need to really be cautious about? Is it exaggerated? What are your thoughts about COVID?
Yeah, I think that there are still people who don't really take as much of a caution because they feel like they're not so much at risk, but there are potentially others who are at risk. Like, I mean, I'm immunosuppressed, and there are other people who have respiratory problems and issues, and so the whole point of wearing a mask and being hygienic isn't all for your own safety. It's also for the safety of others that can't really fight off the COVID as well.
That was well said, Sarah. Very good. Very eloquent. Well, so, maybe one day we'll do an interview so you can tell your story, your full story about your journey with transplant and all that stuff, but as far as this video, I just wanted to kind of keep it real. We're at the hospital, and some of the things that we've done is we've tried to keep busy. The days are long, but today was actually a shorter day, and I think it's because we played apples to apples. And
with two people.
Yeah. Sarah came up with alternative way with rules that for 2-player, and we've watched Coco
2 times.
and she did some art, so that was kind of fun.
I painted red on a fish.
So we're making the best of our situation, and so thank you, Sarah, for letting me interview you, even though you're not feeling well.
For being my mom.
Oh, I love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye guys, and good luck on your journey. See you next time.